By virtue of the authority vested in me as Regent of Old Glory Chapter of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution, I now declare this March 29th, 2023 meeting in session. To perpetuate the memory and the spirit of the men and women who achieved American independence, to promote the development of an enlightened public opinion, and to foster patriotic citizenship, these are the objects of our society, Daughters of the American Revolution. Please stand as you are able and remain standing through the opening ritual.
Guard that which is committed to your trust. Yea, I have a goodly heritage. You shall remember all the way which the Lord your God has led you. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Please join me in prayer. I invite you to pray in your faith as I pray in mine. God of justice and truth, rock of our lives, bless our veterans and first responders, these men and women of courage and valor, with a deep and abiding understanding of our profound gratitude. Protect them and their families from loneliness and want. Grant them lives of joy and bounty. May their dedication and honor be remembered as a blessing from generation to generation. We ask for your peace and mercy as we pray for our community and all those affected by the tragic events on Monday at the Covenant School. In your Son's most holy name we pray. Amen.
Mark time. March.
Left. Guard. Halt.
Sharon Harper will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and Vicki Watts will lead the salute to the Tennessee flag. Bess Forshaw will lead the American's Creed and the preamble to the Constitution.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The American's Creed. I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity for which the American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies. The preamble to the Constitution. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Colors.
Thanks.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
Salute to the Tennessee flag. Miss Vicki Watts.
Three white stars on a field of blue. God keep them strong and ever true. It is with pride and love that we salute the flag of Tennessee.
Right face. Forward. March. Left. 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 Your left. Your left. Right. Right on left. Your left. Left. Left.
You may be
left,
seated.
Right on left.
The DAR, founded in 1890 and headquartered in Washington, D.C., is a nonprofit, non-political, volunteer women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and education. DAR members volunteer millions of service hours annually in their local communities, including supporting active duty military personnel and assisting veteran patients, awarding thousands of dollars in scholarships and financial aid each year to students, and supporting schools for underserved children with annual donations exceeding $1 million. Today is a very special day for Old Glory Chapter. We are pleased to welcome our visitors. I welcome any new prospective members we have visiting. Make sure you check in with the membership table in the back of the room. Today, on Vietnam Veterans Day, we are honored to have approximately, well, now we have more, but I don't have the accurate count, but we did have 37. So we had 37 plus Vietnam veterans, about 40-ish, and 9 surviving spouses here with us today and their families. Welcome to any first responders we have with us here today. We appreciate your dedication to our community. We would also like to welcome Mayor Ken Moore, Mayor of the City of Franklin. Our first order of business is a DAR Distinguished Citizen Medal presentation. Will Matthew Hosipian please come forward? The DAR Distinguished Citizen Medal is an award from our National Defense Committee. It is presented to an individual 18 years of age and older who exemplify honor, service, courage, leadership, and patriotism. This medal may be awarded to emergency first responders and health responders, active duty military and veterans in the United States Armed Forces, and citizens who have contributed to the defense, security, or freedom of our community, state, or nation in an exceptional manner. In 2011 through 2012, Matthew Hosipian served as an embedded advisor deployed to Afghanistan. Matt's team was assisted by their interpreter, Zabi Jalali. In 2021, when the U.S. military pulled out of Afghanistan, leaving a lot of their citizens in peril, Matt organized and coordinated bringing Mr. Jalali, Matt's Afghan-born interpreter, his brother Abdullah, an Afghan Army intelligence officer, and their families to the United States to seek refuge. A total of 9 lives rescued. On October 16, 2021, the family arrived on American soil at Fort Lee, Virginia, before finally arriving in Tennessee on November 7, 2021. The Hosipian family welcomed the Jalali family into their home in Tennessee as a safe and familiar home as they transitioned to becoming citizens. Unfortunately, but for very good reason, the Mohammedis and Jalalis could not make it today because they are at work and school. Our chapter would like to honor Matthew Hosipian for his demonstrated honor, service, courage, leadership, and patriotism. We have the certificate.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Welcome, and we have this beautiful medal.
Cool. Thank you very much. kind of it's been a while since I've like reheard the story, and I know I lived it, so I'm kind of fighting through a little bit of emotion right now. So I appreciate your patience with me. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you for this award and the opportunity to be here today. First, I want to acknowledge that I served in a completely different time than our Vietnam veterans. During my service, there's national praise and popular support for the war. And unfortunately, this wasn't the case for many of you who experienced what I can only describe as one of the most disgusting displays of disrespect toward our service members. And speaking frankly, I don't feel qualified or deserving to be speaking in front of Vietnam veterans for the sacrifices that you all made for our country. Ironically, both of our wars ended in quagmire, and nevertheless, I choose not to dwell on our government's failures, but to focus on the individual efforts of men and women, that men and women made for their fellow man. My supporting the Mohammadi and Jalali family is a time-honored tradition of helping those who helped us. When I was asked to speak today, I couldn't help but draw parallels between the Jalalis and Mohammadi children and my commanding general when I was in Japan, Major General Viet Luong. Major General Luong was rescued by the Rakkasans during the fall of Saigon. He came to America, graduated from USC, and joined the United States Army. His career actually led him to command the organization that once saved his life in the Rakkasans, ultimately returning to the Pacific and leading the United States Army in Japan as an American. This, to me, is the essence of our military service. Forget the politics and the bullshit from our government. Men and women like you do amazing things for individuals. We all bear the scars and the individual wounds that may never heal, but I know in my heart there are many other Major General Luongs in this world, saved by 18 to 25-year-old men and women who are going to grow up in a free country. Fortunately, the Mohammadis and Jalalis couldn't be here as the girls are at school and the wives are at work and the husbands will be at work this afternoon. There's a little bit of a handover that happens around this time of day. Yeah, they wanted to be here and they send their regards and the appreciation from the love and that they've received from Middle Tennessee, most notably those who helped support the GoFundMe, which I believe we raised somewhere north of $60,000 during to help get them settled in the U.S. But yeah, thank you very much for having me here today. I don't feel like I should be speaking in front of Vietnam veterans, but thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And thank you also to Becca and Matthew's parents who are here with us today, because I know you went through a lot too when he was active duty. So, do we have a photographer available? Carol. Becca, would you come up?
Thank you.
Daphne Cavanis and Margaret Reyna, DAR Service for Veterans co-chairs, will be presenting a DAR Service for Veterans Youth Volunteer Award and will be assisting with the rest of the program. First up, Daphne.
If I can get through here. Helena Butler, see if I can get this down, is a young lady whose love of our veterans started when she was 4 years old and spotted a homeless man, not knowing what homelessness meant. To her, it was a lonely man. She started packing little bags and happy bags with toiletries and snacks, which she gave to homeless people. Helena's love for veterans grew from that. Helena wrote a thank you letter to veterans, a copy of which each of our Vietnam veterans have in their bag, and began mailing them to veterans at her church. Anytime she saw a veteran in public, she would give them a thank you letter. If they had a license plate that says they were a veteran, she left a letter on their windshield. She took her letters and happy bags to Rolling Thunder events, visited the veterans at Costco, where they meet every Friday, and the VA hospital, personally thanking them for their service to our great country. She's been thanking and serving veterans for 12 years. She placed flags on graves and attended funerals of fallen veterans with no family members.
She has logged in more than 1,000 hours serving veterans, 100 hours for her Girl Scout Gold Award and 20 hours for her Bronze Award. Her service never ends. It is with great pleasure that we present Helena Butler with the Service for Veterans Youth Volunteer Award. Helena, would you please come forward? Come over here. Helena. At this time, Helena is going to read her letter and her speech, which she came in 3rd place nationally. So, thank you, Helena.
I'm a little short. Okay. As well as the before reward honor, I do not feel like I should be up here, and I thank you all for your service. I'm proud to be an American because I was born in the country China where girls aren't valued. As an orphan, there was no love, no kisses, and no one to put me at bed. There was no birthday parties either. At age 12, I would have become a factory worker. However, God had a plan for me. I was going to be adopted. I was going to America, the best country in the world. I could worship freely, but all of this isn't free. We are free because of the men and women that serve the U.S. military. Veterans, not reporters, give us freedom of the press. Veterans, not poets, give us freedom of speech. Veterans give us freedom to demonstrate. Veterans are who we should thank every day. Is America perfect? No, but we can vote, voice our opinion, and worship freely. The opportunities we have are sought out by millions around the world. Freedom. It gives us hope for a tomorrow. It drives us to do the impossible. Freedom is at its best when we, the people, come together as one. I've returned to China 12 times to help the orphans, and seeing their circumstances, I know America is the best country. I'm so thankful for everything I have, my God, my family, and my country. I'm so proud to call America my home.
Across the nation, Americans continue to thank and honor Vietnam veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. This national commemoration is a Secretary of Defense initiative authorized by Congress and launched by the President in 2012. Today, the Department of Veterans Affairs estimates there are 7 million U.S. Vietnam veterans of those who served on active duty from November 1st, 1955 through May 15th, 1975, regardless of location. The purpose of the initiative is to thank and honor veterans of the Vietnam War, including personnel who were held as prisoners of war or listed as missing in action, for their service and sacrifice on behalf of the United States, and thank and honor the families of those veterans. To highlight the service of the armed forces during the Vietnam War and the contributions of federal agencies and governmental and non-governmental organizations that served with or in support of the armed forces.
To reach these large numbers, the commemoration staff enlisted the help of commemorative partners to conduct events and activities that thank and honor Vietnam veterans and their families. A glorious privilege to count ourselves as a commemorative partner. We have thanked and honored many Vietnam-era veterans and their families during yearly commemoration events. We are excited to announce the new honorary partner distinction that is being conferred to organizations made up solely of those who bore the battle. Will Rich Krasov please come forward? Today, we are privileged to present the commemorative flag and honorary partner certificate to Rich Krasov, the President of Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1140. The certificate reads, "The United States of America Vietnam War Commemoration, Department of Defense recognizes Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1140 as an honorary partner. This distinction is reserved and conferred upon organizations consisting solely of those who bore the battle or bore the loss of the Vietnam War. A grateful nation honors your service and your untold sacrifices." And we have the flag to present.
Oh,
And we have a flag.
yes, let's hold this out. Can we hold it?
Yes. All the photo ops. Ready?
I think we're
Is
good.
that good? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a little speech. Thank you very much for this honor. 50 years ago, I didn't brag about being a Vietnam veteran. It was not the right time or place. But things have changed. They have improved. And I'm proud to be a Vietnam veteran. Thank you. I am proud and fortunate to be president of Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1140, here in Franklin. We got our national charter. It will be 4 years in August. We have a little bit over 130 members right now. For those of you that are not members, we want to encourage you to come to our meetings and join, help us. We do not sell anything. We have fundraisers, but what we do is we share information with veterans, with families of veterans. Let them know about the effects of Agent Orange, PTSD, any issues that we have come across in the years. Our chapter is not just about making money through the donations. We have helped a Korean War veteran with his mobility, with his ramp into his house. We have helped a Vietnam War veteran who's wheelchair bound. Just last month, there were several of our members that went out and fixed up his house because his wheelchair was destroying the walls and everything. We have, last year, we took it upon ourselves to go out to the Tennessee State Veterans Home and replace their rotting benches outside. So we are about veterans, we are about the community. We are not just about Vietnam veterans, we are about veterans of all eras. And I'm very proud of our members. And we have a couple of tables back here with information. I'm doing a little bit of a sell job. We have applications, and for those of you interested and eligible to join, for a one-time fee of $50, you get a lifetime membership. But stop by our desk, our tables back there. We meet on the second Monday of the month at 5:30 in the evening right here in the Enrichment Center. We'd love to have you come and join. And before I shut up and sit down, Lisa, I need you up here. This is a little gift from us to you. This is a poster based off of a photograph of a local artist. It's called Reflection. And we have one on our table back there, but this is for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Totally unexpected.
Now I'll go sit down. Good.
That's beautiful. Now I have the honor of introducing Mayor Ken Moore, who is a friend of Old Glory, and he will be reading from the City of Franklin and the Williamson County proclamations.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm brought to tears by what's happening here. This morning, Mayor Anderson and I had an opportunity to attend a ceremony for the 1140 Vietnam Veterans Chapter here in Franklin. And we both joined together and had the opportunity to talk about our experience both as Vietnam veterans and how it's rare that two elected officials leading a city, leading a county in the same jurisdiction have the honor to have served in Vietnam during the Vietnam era. I'm moved today by these awards, and these awards reflect people that are giving and they're not takers. Matthew, wow, what a leadership lesson you are. Not only thinking about everybody except yourself, and then taking care of those that took care of you. And Helena, wow, I'm so proud of our youth and how smart they are. And then, of course, Rich, the great work that you're doing. So with that, listen to this joint proclamation from Williamson County Mayor Rogers Anderson and myself. Whereas the Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act of 2017 was signed into law by the 45th President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, and whereas we proudly join, recognize, thank, and honor these U.S. military veterans, especially our local veterans, men and women of every background and branch of service who answered our country's call to arms during the period of the Vietnam War. And whereas to take note of a war-torn chapter in our country's history that we should never forget or let happen again, we renew our heartfelt commitment to those who answered our country's call in Vietnam and around the world, as well as those who awaited their safe return. And whereas the names of over 58,000 men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice are eternally memorialized in the black granite of the Vietnam Wall Memorial, the wall in Washington, D.C., we declare that they did not die in vain, nor will their sacrifice ever be forgotten. And whereas no words or ceremonies will ever give full merit to their service, it is never too late to pay tribute to the living Vietnam veterans and their families. And the Old Glory chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution have joined together with the United States of America Vietnam War Commemorative Partner Program to honor the service, valor, and sacrifice of our living Vietnam War era veterans and their families through commemoration ceremonies. And whereas together we call upon all of Williamson County to honor our Vietnam veterans, their families, and all who serve, now therefore be it resolved that I, Ken Moore, as Mayor of the City of Franklin, and Rogers Anderson, as the Mayor of Williamson County, do hereby proclaim March 29th, 2023 as Vietnam War Veterans Day throughout Williamson County and offer our enduring gratitude to our Vietnam veterans, both signed by Rogers Anderson and myself.
Thank you, Mayor Moore. for sharing the proclamations. Copies of the proclamations, the Tennessee Governor Bill Lee's proclamation, as well as the presidential proclamations are going to be in the veterans packets today. With us today is Pat McMahon, representing the Cumberland Valley Quilts of Valor. Please welcome Pat. Oh, there you are.
I'm short too. Thank you all for having me. We're going to have a little different way of doing things today. I just want to point out to all of you that this chapter of DAR has worked tirelessly to get this program put together. But I'm here to talk about my committee. And as mentioned, we are Cumberland Valley Quilters. We have a Quilt of Valor committee. Some of my members are over here to help us with this program. If some of you noticed, I was getting a lot of hugs down here because it's from guys that I've already given a quilt to, or somebody in the guild has already done one. There's never a charge to the veteran or their family for the quilt, except I get a hug. Then I told the ladies at the guild that I was getting hugs, and this is what you see. And I had about 7 tell me, well, I'm out of town, but I will be there in spirit. So I want everybody to know that our guild definitely loves veterans. It doesn't matter what branch, what time period you served in, or where you feel right now. I have presented over 700 quilts since I've had the committee. It's my understanding our committee started in 2004, but all the quilts were going to the hospitals. And we have a tremendous number of vets right here. So we started hooking up. That's probably not a good word. We joined up with probably every military organization, and we've been with individuals at their home and done presentations to people. When we do a presentation, the person gets a certificate from us, gets wrapped in a quilt, and also gets a pillowcase to take it home to keep from getting it dirty. In all the presentations I've done, I have lots of stories to tell, but today I'm going to tell you 2. One of the first ones I did was at a Rolling Thunder chapter. The guy was like 6'3", and when I gave him his quilt and wrapped him in it, he stepped back and tears were streaming, excuse me, and I thought I'd done something wrong, and I started apologizing. And what I had done was when I hugged him, I said, "Welcome home." And he told me, "Nobody has ever told me welcome home." In trying to put this committee together and do our presentations, we consistently hear from veterans that say, "I don't deserve a quilt. I wasn't in Vietnam. I wasn't in combat." What everybody doesn't understand, if it wasn't for our military, we couldn't even do this here today. And if you think you've got a nice home or you're going to a nice school, if we weren't in the United States, you wouldn't be doing any of those. I am a tremendous history buff, and the stories that happen in foreign countries break your heart. In trying to put this together, obviously, we had some ups and downs, but we're going to work through them, and y'all are all going to be happy with me. All of y'all do not have to hug me, but we are going, as the ladies do their pinning ceremony, the people that I knew about that were going to be here are going to get their quilt wrapped by some of these ladies. Then there are some of you who I didn't get your name for whatever reason, and I wrote down some, but you can check with me. I also go to the Vietnam veterans meetings, and if you will stop by over here and tell me, I will have a quilt for you on Monday, April 10th at 5:30. As I told you, I have people tell me they don't deserve this. And as I was putting my list together, Daphne told me about a person that said, I really would rather you gave that quilt to somebody more deserving. And our committee's group, every veteran is deserving, whether it be World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan, Iraq, just anywhere they happen to serve, and I've done them for every place you can think of. But to save you all from being here till midnight, I'm only going to read one certificate, but every person that gets a quilt gets this certificate. So with that, I'd like to ask John Sharber to come forward. Where did he go? There he is. Come on up here. And he didn't threaten to kill me or anything. He was very nice. Come on over here. It says, the Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it a privilege to honor you. Though we may never know the extent of your sacrifice and service to protect and defend the United States of America, as an expression of our gratitude, we award you this Quilt of Valor. Sammy, would you bring us one? And all right, I get my hug first. And for those of you who may have veterans in your family that don't belong anywhere, you can contact me because we do individuals at home, at their church, out on the patio, anywhere they can get somebody together because all veterans count. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Pat. Margaret Reyna will describe the meaning of the Vietnam War 50th Commemoration Pin today.
As the co-chair for Service for Veterans, I am honored to explain the purpose of the commemorative pin you will be receiving today. The symbolism of the pin is especially important. The eagle represents courage, honor, and dedicated service to our nation. The blue circle matches the canton of the American flag and signifies vigilance, perseverance, and justice. The laurel wreath represents victory, integrity, and strength. The stripes behind the eagle represent the American flag. The 6 stars represent the 6 allies who served, sacrificed, and fought alongside one another. We are presenting this lapel pin with the message, "A grateful nation thanks and honors you," embossed on the back, closest to the heart of the wearer. Also, the official name of the commemoration is included to remind each veteran that this is a national initiative, and this lapel pin is the nation's lasting symbol of thanks.
Thank you, Margaret. Will our presenters please come forward?
Greater love has no one than this, to lay down his life for one's friends. John 15:13. The veterans we are honoring today risk their lives in service to their country. They will receive a pin, a certificate, and if they have not already received one, a quilt of valor. Some veterans have previously been pinned. Today they will be receiving their quilt of valor. So we have 3. All right, flip through. As I read their names, they will receive a pin or certificate and their quilt of valor. Michael D. Alsip, United States Army. Anthony Lynn Arnold, United States Army. Everett Skip Beasley, Sr., United States Air Force. Because each one has one. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. Wait just a minute. Wait till I say their name. Mark, let them all get up here before we. Okay. John Lawrence Bess, United States Army. Woodson Woody Bowles, United States Army. And William Bill Brown, United States Navy. Too much to hold. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. I don't know what's going on. If those who are receiving their certificates and pins, if you come up, and then if you'll go back down the middle aisle, I think that will help the congestion over there. All right, Michael E. Cameron, United States Navy. Don Campbell, United States Navy. And James Carruthers, United States Marine Corps. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service. Kenneth H. Choate, Jr. Harvey Chrisman, United States Army. And Robert Bob A. Cieslak, United States Army National Guard. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. I'm missing some. Ronald K. Cole, United States Air Force and Mississippi National Guard. Gene Cook, United States Army. And Copeland Wendell Curtis, United States Navy. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. Right in the middle. Randall Davis, United States Army. John M. Faulkner Sr., United States Air Force. And apparently John Ford was not able to join us today. Gentlemen, thank you for your service.
Where's Mr. Gentry? Oh, okay. Mr. Gentry, Mr. Haley, and Mr. Headley.
All right, Willie Gentry, United States Army. Roy W. Haley, United States Marine Corps. And William G. Headley, Jr., United States Army. Gentlemen, thank you for your service.
Don't take my new girlfriend away.
Daniel W. Hurley, United States Army. Howard Lane, United States Army. And Doug Leonard, United States Army. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. Daniel K. Lindsay, United States Army. Robert Bob Martin, United States Navy.
Lundquist did show up.
Huh?
Mr. Lundquist did show up, but he's already received everything.
Oh, he has?
Yes.
Oh. And Tom Morrison, United States Army. Thank you. Gentlemen, thank you for your service.
Who do you have on top? Who's the first one? Morris.
Okay. I guess I missed it. Go ahead. Tom Morrison, United States Army. William T. O'Donnell, United States Navy. And James F. Peterson, United States Air Force. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. Oh, wait, stay. There's still pictures.
Oh, look, he's in the uniform.
I know, he's not here. Yeah. Terry Reed was not able to join us today. His wife had an accident, so unfortunately they could not join us. But we have Gerald B. Reinscheld Jr., United States Army. And Major Jack Spence, United States Marine Corps. And I believe Major Spence also served in World War II? No? Okay. No, we do have somebody that did, so sorry about that. Not that old. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service. William Walter Spencer, United States Navy. And Wendell W. Staggs, United States Army. Gentlemen, thank you for your service.
One minute, please.
Yes.
For all you people who got a quilt, every time you cover up with it, it's a hug from a grateful nation. If you already have one, you've already heard me say that, so make sure you cover up with it a whole lot. And if you didn't get a quilt and you don't have one, please come and see me.
Do we have a couple more?
Wombo. Frank Earhart is here.
Okay. And who's? Okay. Harold Hal Womble, United States Marine Corps. And unfortunately, James Thompson could not join us today. And Frank Earhart, United States Navy. What's your next screen? Go ahead. Don't worry about that, okay. We also have, if they would come forward, William Passon, or United States Army, Daniel Dorr, United States Army, and Gene Barnes, United States Air Force. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. To all those who served, no matter where you served in the world, on behalf of a grateful nation, welcome home. We are also honoring we're giving the deceased Vietnam veteran surviving spouse certificate and lapel pin to a surviving spouse at the time of the death of a veteran who served in active duty in the United States Armed Forces at any time during the Vietnam period, regardless of location or service. The blue star represents the Blue Star family during the veteran's period of service. The red circle represents the sacrifice of both the veteran and the family during the period of service to our country. The blue circle represents the canton of the American flag and signifies vigilance, perseverance, and justice. The laurel, a time-honored symbol, represents victory, integrity, and strength. A grateful nation honors the service and sacrifice of your family, is embossed on the back, closest to the heart of the wearer, and is our nation's lasting message of thanks. We want to honor each widow of a Vietnam veteran who returned safely from war but passed away before receiving their lapel pin. We wish to present the following with a veteran's Vietnam lapel pin, as well as a surviving spouse pin designed by the commemorative staff to honor you. Okay. So we have Betty Cunningham, Carmen Greenwald, Ms. Mary Denabla, and Mary Denabla. Please, we're going to have you stand up here. Yeah. Mary. Move over. Barbara Hill. Barbara Hill, Carolyn Jeffers, Peggy Cross. Yeah, we're okay. Mary. Mary O'Connor Mitchell, Maria U. Nance, and Vicki Seraphin. I'm going to go back. Betty Cunningham's husband was John Cunningham in the United States Air Force. Mary DeNoble's husband was John DeNoble in the United States Air Force. Carmen Greenwald was William John Greenwald in the United States Army. Barbara Hill's husband was Billy Wayne Hill in the United States Army. Carolyn Jeffers' husband was Rubel L. Jeffers in the United States Army. Peggy Cross's husband was Chester F. Cross, United States Navy. Mary O'Connor Mitchell's husband was, Thomas R. Mitchell in the United States Air Force. Maria U. Nance's husband was Winfred Eugene Nance in the United States Air Force. And Vicki Seraphin's husband was Marshall Kurt Seraphin in the United States Army. Ladies, we thank you.
Thank you to all the Vietnam veterans and their families. Our nation has been holding its applause for 50 years. So I encourage you all to stand, cheer, applaud, and acknowledge these Vietnam veterans in the way they so richly deserve. We will conclude today's program with a rousing rendition of the United States Armed Forces medley. This is going to work. I encourage you to sing along, and veterans, when you hear your anthem, please stand and be recognized. You can be seated, by the way. And we're going to turn the music on. There we go. Please sing along.
United States Coast Guard.
All the Air Force people. Will Rich Crayson from the Vietnam Veterans Chapter 1140 come up and say the closing prayer?
I did some research on the internet, and I found a prayer that is very fitting today. This is the Vietnam Veterans Prayer by Father Phil Salois, National Chaplain, Vietnam Veterans of America. Please bow your heads. Gracious and Almighty God, every year on the 29th day of March, Vietnam veterans and those who love and care for them come to you asking for healing of memories, forgiveness for misdeeds, and blessings for the freedom we enjoy in America. May our observance be a timely reminder that our freedom was purchased at a high cost and should not be taken for granted. Bless the families and friends of those we honor today, and bless the veterans who share memories, stories, and tears to enrich this day. Finally, dear Lord, grant eternal rest for all those whose names are inscribed on the wall, and for those you have called to yourself since the war has ended. Let us not forget those who never returned. We pray that a full accounting of them will be attained one day soon. Amen.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you for coming today to help honor our veterans and their families. A short message to our members here today. Please refer to your Old Glory calendar and the e-news for upcoming events, and I hope to see you all at the state conference this month. The deadline to register is today. Raise your hand if you registered. So if you have any questions, ask any of those ladies who raised their hands. Our next regular meeting is May 10th, right here in this room. In just a moment, I invite veterans and their families to move to the back of the room for a group picture. So you'll be organized in the very back against the wall. And then please enjoy some refreshments and individual and family photos as you would like in front of the backdrop. I now declare this meeting of the Old Glory Chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.